Hello everyone and welcome back to the Northern Lights SMP. In today's episode, we are going to start to build up our village. So we have our main build, we have our starter build, we have our B build, and I think we want one more type of house, which will be a smaller treehouse build, and then we can use a combination of the starter, the base, the B base, and this new little treehouse to build out this whole village. So let me gather a few resources and we'll get ready to start with the build. So I think the plan will be to build a treehouse around the nether portal and surround it with probably a nether looking garden maybe. And inside we could build it up like a witch hut with some brewing facilities inside. So yeah, I think what we want to do first is to build up the ground around it so that it is floor level. And I think I also would like to break the portal and probably make it a 5 wide instead of what it is at the moment, which is 4 wide. So let's prepare the ground before we do anything else. So I will be using a kind of technique that I found from a video, which I will link in the description. But basically these items will be replaced with jungle saplings. And we'll have 4 in each corner with a gap of 5 in between. And then above these we will go a certain distance. And I think for these ones we might go, let's go 12 up. And then let's place this up here to limit the growth of the trees, and then we'll do the same on all the corners. Perfect. So now what we can do is replace these with some jungle saplings, and we will bone meal them. Wait, is that a bell? Oh, have we been pranked? I want to build, but I also want to find out what that bell was. It sounded like it was underneath, so let's place our ender chest down, grab our shovel, and see if we can find anything. Oh, I see. We might need to then retaliate in this for this prank. Let me have a think to see if there's any pranks we could consider doing. And in the meantime, we can continue with our build, I guess. So now we have 1 tree up. We need to clear this space so that the other ones will also grow. And I think this being obsidian might be stopping it growing. I don't know, but we'll check that out. So now we can repeat the process on the other pillars. So now we're going to grab some wood and we're going to shape these trees out. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to extend the path to the grass out a little around these, because the pillars are what we're working on first. And we'll come in and terraform this a little better later, I guess. And then we will add wood in like this. And then we come in with our axe and we are going to keep 2 and then remove 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll repeat this on all corners. So now what we're going to do is we'll come in with our corners and we are going to replace these 3 with the wood and place another wood on here. So we kind of have this like step up approach. And we'll do that on each side. And then we'll do something similar on the inside logs. So what we're going to do is replace this one with wood. We'll go up 2 on that side, up 2 on that side, and this one will go up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and replace. And we'll do that on each of the sides. So we have this kind of curve in and curve out to the tree. So next thing we need to do is build our buildings. So we'll go 3 up all the way around. And on the back here, we will do it 1 step back because we have our portal is going to be there. So now on the top here, we are going to build up a little frame. So on each side, we're going to add this kind of frame, and we're going to add in some stairs on either side just to kind of give it a little bit more of a curve. So now that we have done that, we want to kind of fill in a little bit more of the shape. So we're going to add a temporary block there and add a wood on top and repeat here as well. So that means it kind of just curves around, and then we'll do that on each side. So because of the shape at the back, it's a little wonky rather than it being a kind of circle, but that I think is completely fine. We'll remove the granite over time, but I think it'll be fine to have like not just a perfectly round tree. So now we will place our temporary blocks, and we will get some more logs, and we will go 3 up here. So 1, 2, and then wood, and then 1, 2, wood. And do that on each of the sides. So that is our trunk in place, and now we need to kind of build in all of these branches. So we're going to grab a few more temporary blocks, and we're just going to go in with our wood and make these kind of branches make sense. So in this case, I think if we place a temporary block here, and we do wood underneath, and same here as well. And this one looks fairly connected, but I will probably add a few bits more in there. Perfect. And now I think we want to break into the tree itself, climb up the top, and kind of fill in the outside branches into or fill in the top of the trunk into the leaves. Beautiful. Now all the way up we have this tree connecting, and we'll come in and add a bit more shape and detail as we go along. But that's kind of the whole root trunk and top part, and yeah, it's all just down to the details. So we need to get a good door in, probably put a nice window in, maybe a window on one or 2 other sides as well. But as I said earlier, I think this will be my brewing area, and so maybe a nice window here looking out onto like a nether style garden could look really nice. And on the front, maybe a big door. We have this branch here, so I don't think adding a window in there might work, but I think we need to add a bit more depth in that side. So now we have the outside, we also need to kind of fill in the inside part. So we'll use our scaffolding here and get ourselves up to the top. And I think we just come in and kind of add in some of this wood. And just fill in maybe a little bit randomly in this wood side. And I think we'll add in, we might add in a second floor with the bed on it. I'm not too sure. But yes, this here will be our nether portal. Probably here and across there will be the shape we go for. But the whole thing is going to try and have this nether feel to it. So the next thing is we want to build in a door, and I'm kind of tempted to do similar to what we have here for this door frame, where we have the stairs kind of around it and the background of being blue. But because it's the nether one, I'm thinking maybe we go crimson for this one. So I don't think currently I have much crimson stem in, but let's do the door at least. So if we knock out these 3, and we can build this and add in some trapdoors, which I have here. We can add in trapdoors to the side and one on the top, and we can kind of make this feel like it's kind of the trees coming out a little bit, kind of just round off the area that it's coming into here. And then behind it, yeah, like I said, I think we go crimson. So let's see if we've got any. No, our crimson is empty, so that means it's time to put on our nether boots and we'll go into the nether. Yeah, I think something like that looks quite nice for now. If I put the door the right way around, I think that could look great. And I think maybe we come in and we experiment with maybe some of the nether wall or something else with a little bit of a purple, so it's not just a single block, similar to how we have on the main one, where we have different varieties of kind of a bluey color or turquoisey color. I think we could come in and do that here as well. But for now, ooh, I do like that purple. It's got a nice kind of hit to it. So now I want to work on the window, and as I said, I want to put it in this area here. But before we do that, or to start off doing that, I guess, I want to figure out what the inside should look like. So I added a dark oak floor, and I think that looks pretty nice. But along this wall here, I think if we do something like smoker cauldron with some black stone here and there, and actually I think if we take some of this and make it into a step and grab some spruce, oops, and we could do something like this, where we extend this out here, and forget that we need an axe and place the wrong thing. But I think if we remove this and we add in a pressure plate there, that could look quite nice. And I think we just punch out maybe these 4 for the window, and we can make these ones into the wood variant to kind of finish it a little bit. And I think that'll look quite good. I reckon brewing stand here might be a good idea. And then on the other side, I think we just do a bunch of shelves and storage areas. So now that we have this window in place, or this area where we're going to make the window, we can figure that out now. So we have some white stained glass, which is look great in the other builds, so I think we'll continue that. And for this one, I think we do 3 and then grey, which always hides in the inventory. We do a light grey one there, something like that will look nice. And with a combination of stairs and slabs, I think we can make this look pretty good. So I think what we'll do is we'll do like a double slab there, and then on this side we'll do a trap door. We will do stairs that way around, and on top stairs the other way around, and then we'll finish it off with slabs there. And I reckon we also do trapdoors like that, something like that will do nicely. And we could even do upside down stairs on that side just to connect it in, and maybe we can add a bit more decor around, maybe a few plant pots and other things. But I think that's looking good for the window. Let's take a look on the inside. Yeah, on the inside it's a little bit plain because we are working with the wood side. It's not double layered, but I think that looks great. So if we pop a brewing stand there, I think that's starting to come along nicely. And then on this side, I reckon on this side, if we do something like this and put some stairs here like that, and then we have a bunch of barrels. Yeah, and I think on this side, a little bit of storage would look good. Actually, let's drop that one out and do this, and then we can put some decoration on these shelves here. Now, I think this has been growing for quite some time. So these these vines are kind of a little out of control. I like them, but I think we should kind of cut them off at a certain distance and probably string them off so they don't grow anymore. But what I think I will do is actually cut them back completely and kind of take some leaves and kind of droop some more leaves around, so this feels like a kind of, the tree itself is kind of drooping a little bit. And I think I'll also replace these with the wood variant so you don't get the bottom of the log. So let me just work on that now. So we've done a side of this, and we just kind of cleared out as many of the vines as we could and kind of started to droop the leaves over. So I think what I'm going to do is just continue this on around the whole tree, and we also got some glowberries. So I think I will add in a bunch of glowberries where I can to give it a bit more light, and also just they look quite nice, I think. So yeah, let's continue to work through. Yeah, I think those leaves just look a little more kind of droopy and natural to it. And yeah, I've added in some of the glowberries. I think I will bone meal them to a certain, or wait till they grow to a certain height, bone meal them so they have the berry, and then kind of use the shears to cut them off. But overall, I'm very happy with how the outside of this tree is coming along. I will add in some vines because I think the vines look good, but we'll have to limit them with string. So now what I want to do is, just like the other buildings, I want to surround it with this acacia and deep slate walls. And then I also want to figure out where the path wants to come in here to the main door, and we'll work on the garden. So I've got a bunch of soul sand and soul soil, which I think I will use, and I should have a few of the kind of the nether warped roots and crimson roots and stuff like that. So we'll put a bunch of those around as well. But first, let's figure out where this kind of path will be. So I have in my mind, you walk along this path, and then you have maybe your gate here. Let's say we put our gate here, and then you come in and the path itself curves around and in. So I think that's what we'll end up doing. And I think the main part of their garden will be on this side, and then that gives us enough space on this side here to build in a few more builds, and maybe a pond and kind of a central village area. So as always with the design, we're going kind of a 3 gap. So let's figure that out. So I think I have it roughly how I want it. So if you come along here, you see this kind of overgrown garden with some of the nether plants in this overgrown garden over here, which I think looks pretty nice. A mixture of the soul sand and soul soil in there. We have our kind of overgrown tree with lots of leaves and glowberries and kind of drooping branches and things like that. And then on this side, I need to figure out what to do, because I think I might actually want to convert this area here into a pond. So I fenced it off for now, but I'm going to leave it and consider what I want to do with this area. It looks like it could be quite a nice thing just to make this quite a large pond, starting here at the foot of this tree and extending it from this part out a little bit. And then we can have houses surrounding. But I think I need to just think about it a little more before I act on anything. So I wanted to bring in the nether a little more. So we've got some soul soil here in this path, and I'll make this overgrown, probably add some flowers in it as well. But when we figure out what we want to do there, and as we go inside, some shelving on one side and a brewing setup on the other. Yeah, and I think this is looking pretty nice. I think looking at it from this side is probably my favorite at the moment, with this garden and this kind of nice overgrown tree. And also front on looks pretty nice with the hit of purple from the door. But one thing I did notice when I was building this is there was a lot more bell ringing going on. So I think there's more than one bell. And so I think for now we need to go and have a look at these bells and try and find them, and maybe have another think about what we should do for a prank. to retaliate. So if you have any ideas of pranks, please do let me know in the comments below. But let's go find some bells. So we've spent a bit of time looking for these bells that have been hidden around our base, and I think we've got all of them. Well, I hope we have all of them. In the end, we found 9 bells throughout our base in different places all over the place. We also have a bunch of dirt because, well, I was lazy and I just left the holes when we were digging around. But we also found out who it was. So it was Callie and Mini-Wheats. And yeah, so we really need to think up a retaliation. I think I have an idea in my head, but I would also love to hear your ideas and suggestions. But for now, I think that's it for today. And in the next episode, we'll probably retaliate against that prank. Plus, I have a little kind of shop idea. So stay tuned for that on this channel. And until then, thanks for joining and bye-bye.